two, one. Welcome everybody to an exciting episode of Geek Boots Military Nerds. Where here at Geek Boots we like to tell you all about the big green weenie and how it likes to continue to fuck us. Just like when you've got all these cosplay goals and you plan them out, and then you're 1 month away from the con and you haven't started anything, so you have to con crunch now.
Oh, that's doing it to yourself, though. Come on.
Yeah, that's completely that's self. No, you got to do more like when you order something on Amazon with 2-day shipping because you have a week until the con, and Amazon's 2-day shipping decides it's not going to be 2 days.
Or in my case, my Leviathan axe that I ordered for my God of War cosplay for my Kratos gets shipped here, makes it to customs, and then gets turned around and shipped back to the USSR.
Do you have it now, or
no? I don't.
Okay,
it got shipped back. It got shipped back, and I just got the notification that it got delivered back to the manufacturer, and now they're saying it's my fault.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Well, then I will bring you mine. I'm just letting you know it's kind of foamy, so you're gonna have to add some stuff to it. I was already contemplating on cutting the axe portion in half, so that I can run LED lights through certain parts. So that was my plan. Look at us, we're already talking about cosplay.
Jumped right in.
Subject matter.
Segue.
Yes. Today's episode is all about cosplay through our perspective of being in the military. Today we do not have J4, and we potentially will not have Mayan Goddess. We'll see what happens. She is hanging out with our boots on the ground, Alan, aka Portraits in Cosplay. If she shows up, she'll show up late, but we don't know because she's at San Diego. She said she might get on if she can, so we'll see what happens.
She's at preview night. She's not getting on.
She's not.
Hope.
She's not.
As much as I love this group, but I see you guys every week. Preview night is once a year, and it's not guaranteed. I'm just saying.
Fair enough. Okay. So through our Instagram page, we asked a whole bunch of people to send some questions. We would give our best answers, discussions, things like that on these questions you've given us. They're really in depth. I really appreciate them. So shout out to all of them. I don't know if they
Thank you.
Yeah, right. I don't know if they want privacy or not, so I'm just going to say I'm going to read these questions verbatim, and hopefully they're listening and go, oh, look, it's my question. Because some of these questions are, I ain't going to lie, some of these questions are either got a lot of swear words in them because they just wanted to make a statement, or B, they got some really controversial questions. Maybe they don't want the attention drawn right back to them.
But we're going to talk about it.
Oh, we're gonna fucking talk about the shit out of it. We're gonna open the fucking can of worms. That goddamn much is true. Speaking of damn, a certain somebody wants to know, why is J4 so damn good looking?
You know what? I think I can handle this one. I would retort with, why is J4 not fucking here?
Boom.
I feel bad every time I have those jokes where I'm just like, like that episode we had where he's just like, we had 19 episodes, and I go, no, we have 19 episodes. You've got like 6.
But we love him.
So we'll keep him on.
You know, he missed more though when he was stateside than when he was overseas.
Right, he's so on true when he's on deployment. This is the oddity, which is J4.
His first night in, I got a text message late that night, or no, the following day. I got a text message from him going, "Dude, I'm so sorry I didn't get there. I forgot." He goes, "We were in the movie theater watching a movie," and I go, shit, what day is it today? And his wife goes, it's Wednesday. He goes, shit, I'm supposed to be podcasting tonight.
Whoopsie.
Oh, J4, you adorable man, you.
Uh.
The next question, this is a real one, is what do you do to get into your character? My answer is very simple. I just recognize that I'm an American badass and just kind of embody it. So
I just tend to stick with characters who have the same personality as me anyway.
what she's saying is because she cosplays Black Widow, we need to fucking watch her.
I don't, but I only did that once. I cosplay more of the villains than I do any heroes.
You just cemented my point.
Or maybe made it worse. I don't know.
Yeah.
And princesses.
Yeah, and princesses.
I have my good side and my evil side.
I mean, is it a good side? Because what kind of princess are we talking here? Are we talking like, Disney princess, everyone loves them? Or are we talking princess as in, give me all the things, you guys are worms?
Yes.
No, don't take too long on the answer. It's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, okay, never mind. I got confused. Sorry, viewers. I'm looking at my screen to make sure that everything's right, and I just see this weird blob up above my thing. I'm like, that's not part of my wall, and I realize my window's a lot smaller, so it's just hovering over Cosplay Genemies, and it's whatever's in her background. Anyway.
What's in my background? Everything is in my background.
Her background's awesome.
Her background is herself.
I know.
Is that a Captain America helmet on the corner? Yes, it is. That's the one.
Yes,
that's the one from the sexy shoot for the 4th of July.
Yes.
Yay!
If y'all didn't see that photo, you guys are missing the fuck out.
I have the shield.
Shield.
I have the shield holding up my my sign back there.
That's fucking.
It's okay. Dope. Tony Stark was using the shield for like holding up a laser.
I mean, I have.
Right.
I mean, I've got the whole thing. I didn't just have to do the pants and a bra. I've got the whole.
Yeah, well,
hey, Bubba.
We don't care about all that. We like the bra, so we're good.
Yep.
I figured. No complaints, right?
Right, no complaints. Meanwhile, everyone's going, "Oh my god, this is what this group talks about? That's so sexist." That I'm over here like, "No, we know each other, homie. Don't worry about it."
Right? I know.
This is family.
If somebody else walked up to me and was like, "I would definitely prefer you in a bra," I'd probably punch them.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. If someone told me they prefer me in a bra, I'd go, "What photos have you seen? What are you talking about?"
You would giggle uncontrollably and turn into Dolphin.
I just pulled Mayan Goddess in for that. Your turn.
We still have sound bites. So every time like one person's missing,
when we get enough money. And we have a studio, and I can just do that. Single Dad, your turn to answer this question.
As for embodying the character and everything like that, obviously, I mean, I do the research, and I choose characters, much like Genemy, and I choose characters that fit my personality. I mean, Scourge, the Executioner, and Rorschach, are two of my favorites. Bane, I go with like not the top villain, but like kind of like a second tier or third tier villain, because I'm not the best at this. I'm not out there to be great or anything like that. But I also like being evil, and I like that aspect of it. So
evil is so much more fun.
It is. It really is. Hey, Bubba.
I would say anti-hero is so much more fun. You get to kill pieces of shit. You get to kill them. Oh, like are you a rapist? And you continue to do it? I'm just gonna blow your head off. It's fine. Like
I have a love-hate with anti-heroes. Like, yeah, I get it, but at the same time I'm like, I can't. Like, I want people to be good or bad.
Mhm.
And I know that no human in the world is that way. But when
Yeah.
it comes to like my movies and the books and the comics that I read, I want clear cut good and evil.
which is
Because-
why it's fantasy and science fiction, because it's not really like that.
Exactly, because in real life we all have these mixed bag of worms in ourselves, and I want to see somebody who is completely good or completely evil, and I want to see them fight, and I want to see, good always win, evil start to win, and then good win.
Yes. Like a
Because
normal everyday story.
exactly, because that's what I like. If I wanted to watch people who were good, evil, and had a mixed bag of everything, I would just turn on the news.
Ah, I see what you did there. Yeah, okay, I see what you did there.
See, I gotta
Don't get
kind
me
of
wrong.
agree, but kind of disagree.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, sometimes some storylines are just really good, and like I love Deadpool. You guys know I love Deadpool,
Right.
Well, duh.
and so I still like. And then I love it when they do Harley as the
Protagonist.
I was gonna say the chaotic neutral character, but I was like, wait, I'm playing the wrong game
Poor
here.
choice of words.
No, very good choice of words.
Speaking about Deadpool, I will be bringing Deadpool to Disneyland with me, just so to rub that in your face. For me, oh god, I guess my, American Bar. No,
Words are hard.
words are hard. No, so is numbers. I Most of my cosplays is because I grew up loving the character. I I don't always look for a character that has the same personality, though I have to admit if I'm going to get into a character, um, I personally would like to know more in terms of comic book, because most of my cosplays are comics, about them, so that I know what the fuck I'm talking about if someone asks me something. Not to show off and prove my nerdiness, but to be able to, because someone's asking me about my cosplay, and I'd like to be able to allow them to have a good conversation with the person that
Well,
they're enjoying the
yeah,
costume.
absolutely. You definitely
Yeah.
want to know who you're playing at all
Yeah,
given times.
'cause
You don't have to know every single
I've
quote of theirs, but at least know like the basics of who they are.
I've been that guy where I go up and go, I love your cosplay, I love this character, and then their response is, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I like their outfit, and I'm just like, well, then I don't know how to continue this conversation, and just kind of walk off.
Yeah, I walked up to somebody. I was doing one of the bombshells. I think I was doing Catwoman,
Hmm.
the bombshell Catwoman, and somebody was walking by with the bombshell Supergirl, and I was like, "Oh my god, bombshells!" And she looked at me like I had lost my mind. She just stared at me like she had no idea what bombshells were. And I was like, "You just found this on the internet."
Yeah,
Are you sure, or was she just reacting to you, like your?
Maybe I'm the weirdo. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too weird.
it's okay.
Like,
You're our
maybe I scared
weirdo,
her.
Yes.
Maybe she was like, "Oh, holy crap, somebody's talking to me."
right?
Excuse me.
But yeah, the other huge part of it is growing up with them. Like, if I was to go personality wise, like my all-time favorite thing is Dragon Ball Z. So if by personality alone, I'd say Goku. But because I love swords and I love the idea of time travel, Future Trunks is like just one of the coolest characters on Dragon Ball Z in my opinion, and that's why I cosplayed him for like a brief stint before a bunch of stuff broke, and I just can't. I have a hard time getting into an anime cosplay because I look too real and they are completely cartoonish and it just doesn't look right, so I won't ever do it ever again. The wigs are nice though. But yeah, I guess reading up on the comic books, reading up on their history, sometimes it's really helpful to motivate to listen to a playlist that either fits or is off of a soundtrack of the character, whether walking around or driving to the con in this cosplay that I'm wearing. That also helps me get not only into character but get the hype of wearing the outfit. So that would be how I get into character with quote fingers. The next question: how do you guys feel about trigger discipline in cosplay photos?
Oh.
Am I allowed to punch people in the face? No. Do I want to? Yes. um,
I,
oh God.
can I take this?
Yes, go
I
first, go.
okay. One. Aw,
Oh,
nice Desert Eagle. Um,
that-
so
one.
so I will say this. I have experienced this both as a cosplayer and as a photographer, as a fan, and everything like that. And um, there's some characters that I will say, I mean, if they're posing and everything like that for a shot, you know what? Their fingers on the trigger, it's there for a reason.
Yeah,
Right? If you're looking for for a specific shot. Now, just walking around and everything like that, people with props and everything, I'm like, it grates on my nerves. But I've
yeah.
also dealt uh, with cosplayers that are like, hey, you were in the military, and you know weapons. How should I be holding this? What should I be doing?
Mhm.
And I like a quick, like 2 minute down and dirty. Okay, this is what you do. Here's the safety rules. These pertain to all weapons. So just keep that in your mindset, and then you're good to go. And so those are the kind of people that I really appreciate, especially as a photographer, is people that are trying to learn and they want to do it right. But yeah, if just seeing some random cosplayer that's just playing around with and with the weapons and everything, and not showing respect to the weapon, even though it's a prop, I understand that, I get it, but as their character should know, they should know.
Well, on top of that, I mean, at least from my perspective and my opinion of it, I would argue if you're willing to do that with a toy, chances are you're going to do it with a real weapon.
Right.
It's just it's you're not thinking about it. That's the thing. See, when people sit there and do that and they just hold it like that, they're not actively thinking I should put my finger here. It's just
Correct.
it is what it is. So I would say that the reason why it irks me is because then I go, cool, never gonna give you a real weapon. I'm gonna continue walking. But to capitalize on that, I too agree. Depending on the pose and the photo you're taking, sometimes it's like my fingers on the trigger because I'm acting out this
ready.
shot. Yeah, exactly. Whenever
I'm
I
at
done,
the ready.
yeah, whenever I'm doing Punisher or Red Hood or Deadpool, more than half. Well, okay, so for Red Hood and Punisher, it's mostly the photos I take are action style. I'm in the fight. Um, and same thing with Cable. So my finger will be on the trigger, but then there's photos, especially for Cable. Cable has more photos than anything else where I'm just resting with the gun. My finger is not in that. No, 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 no. Especially considering for me in the military, I'm thinking not only is this a gun, but now I'm thinking cosplay wise, and I'm going, this is a really big gun that tears down walls. I don't want my finger on this trigger. People will die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that.
I
So,
think the funny thing is guns like don't bother me as much when
yeah,
it comes to people playing with them because I mean like this, there's a huge difference between this and a real one. I own a real one. This thing is
yeah,
so light and like is not going to do anything. And when
yeah.
I'm holding this, to me it feels nothing like anything real.
Mhm.
But when I watch people dry fire a bow, it
Oh,
irks me
oh,
to the
Wow.
core.
oh.
Even
Nails
when
on
they're
chalkboard.
fake,
Oh my
even when
God.
they are fake, like toy,
So
completely. Oh, that's when I go
I'm
crazy.
I'm gonna irk you a little bit because I had to irk myself. I had a photographer. I was doing Green Arrow, and I had a photographer ask me to draw the bow, and I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, draw the bow." I'm like, "Okay, for photo's sake, sure." He goes, "Yeah, but put an arrow in there," and I'm like, "No." And they're like, "No, no, no, come on, it'll be great for the photo. You're gonna have to do it. You have to." So I sat there and did it. Keep in mind, this was a real bow and arrow. He's taking several shots and I'm sitting there like this for a solid 5 minutes. My arms got
Those
exhausted.
are.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
and
but
depending on the weight of it,
I
those things
literally had to
are like
tell him, I'm like, please tell
really
me you have the,
heavy.
yeah. I was like, please tell me you have the shot because if you keep going, I'll let go because of muscle failure, and I
Yeah.
okay.
don't want to do that. Please get
On
out of the
that,
way.
on that, and I've had to deal with this multiple times with multiple Green Arrow cosplayers,
Yeah.
and had to show them how to basically palm the arrow without knocking it, so that way they can pull back. but they're holding it with their finger basically, and it's
Yeah,
in the
and
palm of
not
their hand, and so the bowstring is up here, the arrow's back here, so that way, in case they accidentally let go, the arrow's
the
literally
arrows
dropping.
dropping.
So
So
there
you
you go,
just
ladies
don't
and gentlemen.
do not just if you're doing something like that, whether it's a toy bow and arrow or it's the real thing, or if it's an accurate, realistic weapon, it can still hurt somebody.
Yep.
Do not, if you're in a photo shoot, do not knock that arrow
Yeah.
for anything. Do not knock it. There's a way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And I just
And
you literally
try to buy they call it con safe bows. They make them, they're 3D printed models. Basically it's an elastic string, but it has no bounce to it, so they're really nice.
So you
those
can
are really
pull
nice.
it back and it looks like you're actually in pullback, but
right.
if you release it, it's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Even with those, palm your arrow. Do not knock it, and you get the same effect. I guarantee you.
Yeah, because you can't. I mean, you can't see past your hand. I mean, I go straight into the like.
Good job.
I'm like, I got like perfect formation right now. I don't shoot, not at all.
Yeah, right. Military, what?
What?
Yeah, but for Deadpool.
Wait, hold on.
What?
What
I don't know
freaking Air Force base
I don't
was she
know.
at that they were using bows and arrows? I mean, is she the last line of defense at Area 51?
I was gonna say Area 51 actually has been deserted for a hot minute. Those that are still there are living like in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, so they don't actually have guns.
Sweet.
Or better yet, the arrows are experimental, and they're like phaser weapons, like it's unlimited ammo, and she's just lobbing lasers at people's faces. One of the two.
Yes.
No. Here's a little bit of experience. So another thing to think about, in terms of trigger discipline. So for us in the military, there is a moment where we actively think about it, and it's in the moment when we actually have guns in our hands. So when I did my Las Vegas trip for my birthday, there was this funny moment where they're like, "Oh, Deadpool, you're gonna rock Desert Eagles for a photo, right? You're gonna shoot Desert Eagles." And I go, "I only have so much money for this trip. I'm not gonna be shooting any Desert Eagles today." So I come out and I go, and they're like, "All right, anything else we can do for you?" I go, "I was told by the manager, Trevor, love that dude. Big shout out to Battlefield Vegas, by the way, and official Battle Monkey. They gave me an amazing trip. And Battle Brew Coffee Shop, which used to be Black Rifle Coffee Vegas. Anyway, he comes over and they start walking me back through a tour of the installation, and this guy pulls out 2 Desert Eagles, real Desert Eagles, out of a basket, hands them to Trevor. They're pulled back. The chambers are pulled back to reveal that there's no ammunition in them, and to reveal the underside where the magazine is not present, to show that it's safe. So that we go into the room full of guns from the music video "Fuck ISIS." He slides them forward and then hands them to me. And as much as I wanted to put my fingers on the trigger for a photo's sake, fuck no, those are real guns. I kept my fingers away, and then I did the sniff photo. Like, it's ingrained into us because of the military. I mean, if you put even if you don't have a magazine in there, if a drill sergeant finds your finger on the trigger, you're gonna be doing push-ups all day. I'm just letting you know. And then you'll learn real fast. Oh, hey, maybe I shouldn't fucking do this. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was definitely drilled into me as a child, actually. I already had that. That was already ingrained to me before I ever went into the military.
You're lucky.
I started shooting when I was 6 years old. So.
Okay, so my mom wouldn't even let us have toy guns because she told us to treat every gun as a real gun.
Yeah.
And even if we had a toy gun, if we had gotten one, and I would have pointed that at my brother, I would have been in trouble.
Fair enough.
And here I am with my kids. I've got 3 boys, and we have Nerf guns galore.
Nerf guns are different.
And I've taught them. I've basically taught them how to pie corners, how to clear rooms, everything like
God.
that. Hey,
They'll be ready.
when
They'll be ready. Yes.
you learn CQB, you have to pass this knowledge on to the next generation.
The
For our civilian listeners, real fast though, for our civilian listeners,
Sorry.
go ahead and tell them what CQB is.
My apologies. CQB is close quarters battle. That's when you've seen it in the movies, like when SWAT teams or anything like that, when they go into a house and they're clearing a house, and you basically see what we call the stack. You see like the 4 or 5 guys outside the door, and then they all rush in at once. That is CQB. That's clearing houses, clearing rooms.
It's essentially no matter what the firearm you have in your hand, it's a style and a form that you use when in tight quarters. That's why it's called close quarters. So that like Army Rangers have a training style with their M16s, M4s, that if they're in a middle of a fist fight, they keep their weapon on them, shove the person off, and then just unload the magazine on the person's chest.
Yeah.
So, fun fact. Anyway, cosplay Genevieve. What were you gonna say?
I don't remember now.
Now that we've shot everybody in the face in the room,
Huzzah!
Ah, we know how to do that.
You were gonna say though?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, then we shall.
We shall.
So,
next question.
Essentially,
What's
yeah.
that important?
In closing, it bugs the living shit out of anybody in the military. I've had moments where I'm doing a Deadpool photo, and normally when I'm doing Deadpool, I got my fingers on the trigger no matter what because it's Deadpool and it's fucking hilarious to do so. I've had comments from guys who are not cosplay that go, "Wow, no trigger discipline at all." It's a thing. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
It's a fucking thing. Okay. Next question is balancing cosplay with real life. Do they meld and or cross?
Depends.
That's a loaded question.
It depends.
It really is a loaded question.
It does.
Are they saying like, do I wear my Bane mask to fun times in the bedroom?
Fuck yeah.
No.
I do.
Of course you do.
Here, let me detach one of these little pipes here so that you can also breathe with me. Yay!
That is
anybody...
like probably the number one question I ever get, by the way.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, no, that was a bad man reference for those of you listening that don't know what the hell I just referenced. When
guy
Batman...
who smells through a crab.
Guy who smells through a crab. Hey, which one of these tubes do you smell through? Yeah, it's an interesting question. I definitely wanted to bring it up because I figured maybe somebody else would have a better answer than I. But balancing cosplay with real life, I think if anything, I would actually, instead of do they meld, I would simply add advice, and that is, don't burn yourself out on it. I see a lot of people, cosplay is literally the only thing they ever do, and even to me, who is really into cosplay, even I have to go, can you like separate it for like just a second? Like, I got my buddies in a local band, Wilding in the Rain. Shout out to those guys who are working on their 3rd album, and I invited people to their 2nd album CD release, and I sent the event to a friend, more like someone I know. I'm not really friends with them. I'll just clear that air. They'll probably know, or they don't even listen. Who the fuck cares? And I sent it to them, and their response was, and I quote, "What does this have to do with cosplay?" And I replied, "It doesn't. It's a rock and roll show where you go and enjoy music."
Right.
They replied,
"It's real life."
They decided
other things.
Yeah. So basically all I'm trying to say is like if you can balance it, if you can make that work as your life, sure, fine, that's fine and dandy. But as far as I'm concerned, separate them. Try and not do it as often. This is supposed to be just a mere hobby. For me, I have had to cut out, for the most part, photo shoots where they do group photo shoots on Facebook and make events, because it, to me, kind of diminishes going to a convention. I want to go to a convention to A, show off a cosplay I just got, and B, hang out with fellow nerds that I haven't seen in a while, and C, potentially get my photo taken and just kind of revel in the fact that, hey, look at this cool outfit I'm wearing. So to do it too much, I burn out a little bit. So I guess in a sense, to respond to the does it meld, I would have to say, arguably for me, no. I have to live my life. I have to do other things that are not cosplay related. So that is my answer for that.
I'm gonna be a little different on that. Yes, if that works for you to separate, make sure you have.
Yeah.
Then that works. Me, my personality, growing up before I ever knew cosplay, I dressed up for everything. I have a t-shirt for every holiday. I have headbands or a hat or something. And so it's always been a part of my everyday life before I ever knew it existed in a way. So for me, it does meld into my life because it's always been there. Like I always wore a tiara for my birthday.
Me too.
Like, even like in high school, you know, I was planning Halloween for months in advance, even if I had no idea what I was actually doing, but making a cosplay for it. If I knew I was going to, I mean, I said that one time when we were in our group chat that I was going to a movie and I didn't really have anything that matched the movie.
Oh yeah.
And it was driving me crazy. I mean, that's kind of my everyday life, so that's where my mindset is.
I feel you so hard on that. There's a store called Think Geek. I'm not sure if you guys know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
So there's a Think Geek basically just across the street at the mall to the theater. And honestly, if I don't find a shirt that I can wear for the movie I'm going to, I go to Think Geek to see if maybe it's trending and they have a shirt available and try and get a shirt before I go to the movie. So I feel that so hard.
I mean, it's just one of those things that I've always kind of done. And so it's just, when I think of cosplay and I think of things, the only thing is with those groups, I like doing those because of it keeps the love of cosplay going while there's no conventions going. And so that's one of the reasons why I really like doing those group shots. But at the same time, I make sure I already have something for it, or I actually enjoy what they're doing instead of doing something just for a photo shoot.
Sure.
So I think there is like, yes, I want to make sure I'm doing it for the love of it and not just for the pictures of it.
Yeah, I agree. I guess another thing that I would have to say, I feel like I gotta say this. There was a point in time up here in the Pacific Northwest where they were scheduling so many photo shoots and creating so many Facebook events that they treated it like they were in charge of these communities. And I'm sitting here going, yo, just because you have a Facebook page doesn't make you the mayor of cosplay. Get the fuck out of my face. Like,
my apologies for that. I had a parenting moment.
Okay, no worries.
You're fine.
It's your turn now.
Okay, so
was I done?
Wait,
yes.
No, she's not done.
He does this to me all the time. Like all the time.
You pause for a long time, okay?
I do dramatic pauses, so
you're like.
He also didn't recognize you on Mother's Day.
I know.
Don't bring that up. I'm very embarrassed, okay?
That's why I bring it up, because you're very embarrassed by it.
You old whippersnapper, you.
Oh, yeah, that's a funny story for another.
Catch us next week as Cosplay Genevieve just vents about how I didn't talk about Mother's Day on Geek Boots.
It's not that you didn't talk about Mother's Day. It's the fact that you overly talked about Father's Day.
I'm just getting, nope, that's done.
He's done. I mean, if you would have treated both of them the same, it's like.
I just forgot. Honestly, I forgot it was Mother's Day.
It's like being a woman in the military all over again.
Oh my god.
We don't really exist.
You do exist. You do exist.
We really don't.
Well, not anymore. You're out.
I mean, you see all the commercials still that are make sure you honor our guys in uniform, and I'm like,
Well, okay, hold on. I hope it's more like all the people guys.
I think they're trying to use guys as unisex, but it's not a unisex word.
I don't know. I use it for unisex all the time. If I walk into a group of people, male and
Dudes.
female,
Dudes. They are all dudes.
no,
Dude
male
is
and female, I'll go, hey, what's going on, guys?
Yes-ish. If you're in your friend group and you walk up and you're like, hey guys, what's going on? You mean everybody. If you're making a commercial about the military and you use the terminology guys.
it's better than walking up and saying, "Como están, bitches?" I mean,
Honestly, I kind of prefer that.
Welcome
'Cause
to
that's-
Geek Boots,
'cause that-
where we derail real hard every episode.
we haven't talked about Star Wars yet.
I mean, I walk into the
Oh,
VA and they're looking and they're like, so where's your husband?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Mm. And I walk forward and I'm like, no, me. I mean,
I walk into the VA and they're all like, aren't you a little young to be here?
show them your face app picture.
There you go. Yeah. I'll just cover my face with that and be like, no, I served. Anyway, the fucking question.
Okay, so is
oh
Genevieve
yeah,
done? I'm not cutting in on her time.
Ooh.
I derailed us, so you can go on.
Okay.
If I think of something else, I'll just chime it in and interrupt everybody else.
Oh, that's fine.
That's
Used
fine.
to it.
We'll be in the middle of another question. It should be like, oh, no, there won't even be an oh. She'll just start answering that other question while we're in the middle of talking.
It's that argument that we had 3 months ago, and she just randomly brings up that one topic.
I would be the person who does not remember something from 3 months ago.
And another thing.
I am not one of those girls. I forget things almost instantly.
Can you forget about what you were talking about just now so we can continue on with this question?
Oh, it was Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day.
Shut up!
He did that.
Don't do that!
It's
Stop!
not me.
Stop! Come on, man. We're on a clock.
Okay. So for me, I have said this many a time before. Whether it's blending or it's if it's blending, melding your cosplay and your life and everything like that, or if it's compartmentalizing, you have to prioritize. Prioritizing is key. And luckily, that's one of the things that I learned in the military is how to prioritize stuff. And when I got out, I was like, okay, crap, I'm not working anymore. So my priorities shifted, and my family always comes first. They hands down, family first. And then while I was in school and then finishing up my master's in grad school, thanks, bud. It was family, then school, then my fun time, which was cosplay and cons and everything like that. Out of school now, so I can focus a little bit more on me. But I'm actually changing that and focusing more on the kids and doing stuff with them and taking them places and making sure that I'm enriching their lives a little bit more. I love cosplay. I love photographing cosplay. I love traveling and meeting new people and spending time with everybody. But at the same time, yeah, you know what? I've got a life outside of it myself. And so that's what it comes down to.
Well, I do want to say that being a mom and being more of a stay-at-home mom, where I didn't really have for quite a few years anything that really reflected me and my individuality. Everything I did was for somebody else. So cosplay kind of put me in the front running, and it became something that I said, hey, this is mine. This is what I'm going to do. Please, help me prioritize this into the priorities. Not that it's ever been put in front of my kids.
Right.
But I have chosen to do cosplay events and had to miss out on some things that my kids were doing because of the, because it was still important to me. Doesn't mean I'm putting them any less. It's just sometimes I have to prioritize things differently. And I think it's made me a better person in the long run, because now I have something that I can say, hey, this is mine. I'm going to do this.
Right.
And then at the same time, I can still say, okay, that's now done. Now let me focus on you.
Yeah.
For my little ones. Instead of always putting everything into them every single day, where I burnt myself out being a mom, honestly, before I had cosplay.
And you need an outlet. Everybody does.
Everybody does. Everyone needs a hobby. Everybody needs something. And if I started earlier and it had become my job, I'm probably way past the arc of it ever being my actual job, then it would be different again.
And you have 10,000 followers.
Granted. but there's a difference between somebody who gets 10,000 followers, and as they're getting 10,000 followers, they're going to these conventions, they're having panels, they're doing these things, and they gradually over time get 10,000 panels, and people know them. People know me on Instagram in certain circles. Yeah. I got 10,000 followers really fast comparatively to some people, that my name still isn't in the cosplay community. And so I think I've done one panel, and it was in a teeny tiny con. I've worked as a guest at two small conventions, but I generally work with booths instead of doing things for myself. So I'm always working for somebody else, not doing things for me. So there's a very different fan base that comes along with that.
I think it's just because you're hot.
Well, I'm sure people follow me for that reason, but I have a lot of businesses.
Other qualities.
Instagram's a sexist piece of shit. Don't worry about it. They see a hot girl and they're like, follow!
There are a lot of people who follow me because of my looks. I am not naive enough to say that that's not the case. But I also have a lot of followers who are business people.
Guilty! No, I'm just kidding.
Who I work with. You didn't even start following me until we started working together. I don't want to hear it.
Hey now.
Well, you started following. I don't even know how you found me.
Me?
No, no, I know how you. I'm looking at you like you know who I'm talking to.
I know,
exactly.
Right?
Holy crap!
It'll be better when we're in a studio. Then you can make eye contact with us, and then we'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, Dad started following me when I had 200 followers.
Yep. Way at the beginning.
Yeah, I had literally just started. I mean, I think those first 200 followers were my friends from Facebook. And so I don't know how somebody in California when I was in Louisiana found me.
This wonderful page called Sharing Cosplay.
Well,
it has brought so many people together. I will say
really
this.
Has.
I love sharing cosplay.
But
I know the guy now who runs it personally, but it's changed hands since it started. I started following Sharing Cosplay since they had less than 100 people. I don't know who started it originally. And I have been there and I have shared their stuff. And I feel like there should be a bond, and then they hit 10,000 followers and they're like, hey, let's get new page models, but they all have to be under 5,000 people. And I'm like, oh, thanks. So I'm getting screwed over because I've done well in the same amount of time as they have. Me and that group has started around the same time. And I have been with them from the beginning. And I guess it just drives me crazy because I'm always this person who is like, you're good enough-ish.
And I know we're on another venting rant. Here we go.
Sorry, I got into a rant.
We'll talk about.
when everybody
Well-
says that, or like when you said that I have 10,000 followers, it's like, yes, I do, but I'm still never good enough.
You're good enough to me. That's why you're on this fucking podcast. God damn it! So shut the hell up.
I'm sorry. It's just it's
Bitter, salty. Are you a salty vet in this regard?
yes, I am. No, yes. And I try to be like this upbeat person that I send people to still do things, but ugh.
Salt.
Can I kind of touch on this a little bit?
God,
Completely
you
different.
have to. We have other questions to answer.
We have
Wait,
two-
one. So this was a first for me. So I was at Anime Expo. I was only there for 3 hours. I was walking around, and some guy literally walked up to me. He was like, "Hey, you're that guy, aren't you?" I was like, "Wait,
I could be any guy, so sure.
yes, I am a guy." And I'm running through my head, and I was like, "Yeah, it's single dad," because that's where all my pictures are of me and everything like that. And he's like, "No, you're point blank shot photography." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Wait, what?
And he's like, "Yeah, dude, can I get a selfie with you?" I'm like, "I'm just a dude." And one, he recognized me as a photographer,
That's awesome.
and I'm like, "I'm on the other side of the camera." And he's like, "I love your work." I was like, "Dude, thank you so much." And a great guy, and apparently he's been following me for a while. So he and I got to chit chatting and everything. But thanks, G.
I get excited when somebody actually recognizes
It's okay,
me.
Grayson. Grayson, it's okay.
Same.
Like
Same.
that is like
a
the
celebrity.
end of the world. Like you have made my entire year when you walk up to me and like, hey, you're cosplay Jenemy. And I'm like, what? You know me?
Thank you, though.
I'm pretty sure I said that at Denver Comic Con. Somebody said, hey, you're cosplay Jenemy. And I was like, what? You know me? Nobody knows me.
Okay, sorry for the
Okay.
segue.
Yes.
Next question.
Next question. This is an interesting one. I don't. Is old school still valid with cosplay?
As in what?
As in what? Yeah.
I was really hoping for a longer pause because even I'm like, what? like,
Like,
I,
I-
still valid
What
with
is-
cosplay.
What's old school? What's new school? And why? Okay, hold on. Why are we comparing?
right.
Why is anything good, better, or best? So on this, I'm gonna take a page from my friend's Instagram and the whole CBR snafu this past week. I don't know if you've read anything about that. The website Comic Book Reviews,
Yeah.
and they put up, it was a list and pictures of, it said like 20 people who should not be cosplaying or don't understand cosplay. And it was up on their website, on their Facebook, and then it got tagged in a whole bunch of Instagram, because it's like, you know what? It's cosplay. It's people that are in costume.
Like,
that
are they in
portraying
costume? Or are they playing?
No. I mean, these,
Like
that's the thing, is like they labeled it cosplay. So these were definitely homemade cosplays and everything like that. And it's like, but this website that's got over 1.5 million followers was berating these people. And it's like, wait, no, you don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Some people can't afford big elaborate costumes. You don't have to be a Jessica Negri or Yaya Han or
I mean,
some
you can
top
be,
name.
but you have to get there.
Right.
You
but
might
that's
be the
thing,
next one, but
That's,
Yeah.
that's
Hopefully
great.
they'll get old and die, so then we can be the next ones. I
I
mean,
think
what?
I think I'm older than both of them. So shush it.
But that's the thing.
Fine.
I'm not going to disparage them because they've made a name for themselves. Congratulations. They're making money at doing something that they love.
Yeah.
We hope that they love it.
Oh yeah, I hope so too. I mean, I guess some people do jobs just because they're good at it, not they love it. I mean,
Yeah. But again, that goes back to, and then there's people that literally make their stuff at home with tinfoil and cardboard and acrylic paints and everything like that. And it may not, quote unquote, look the best, but that's the thing, is they're there portraying a character that they love. So
Yeah.
go asking old school versus new school and whether you're wearing like a Zentai Zone suit, and if you're a suit cosplayer versus an elaborate foam armor build or anything like that, stop comparing people, please.
I know. If you bought your cosplay at Spirit or you made it from scratch by yourself,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want to. You can compare them in like a cosplay, oh my God, I can't believe that person made this type of way, but not like in a you're better than them because you made it kind of way.
And that's part of it is like these people that say that anything that isn't handmade isn't actually cosplay. And I'm like, now hold on. Did you grow that? For the fabric for that, did you grow that cotton and pick it yourself? And did you spin and hand dye it? Then it's not handmade now, is it?
Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and some people just want to just play and don't have time. Some people, they want to go to a convention and they do not have time to make something, so they order it online.
Yeah.
They wait until it comes, and then they go to the convention in something that they ordered online because they have no other time. The time off that they have is to go to a convention.
Yes.
Which is all interesting responses, considering the next question is more of a statement. Stop the bullying and cosplay for fun, the way it was intended to be.
Yay! Okay, so we killed 2 in 1.
Yay!
Without even knowing the next question.
Right? Next question. We've heard cosplay is not consent. Can you please explain it simply for safety? So in a military sense, okay, now I don't know about you guys, but Army nowadays is doing death by PowerPoints as training all the time, and more often than not, it is sexual harassment and sharp. And what was it? There was sharp, and then there was other stuff. And I'm just like, I feel like I have seen so many of these PowerPoints that I'm like Keanu Reeves. I'm just gonna pretend to put my arms around you, but in reality, I'm not touching you because fuck that shit.
Just ask. Ask. Use your words like a big boy or girl, and just ask. Can I put my arm around you?
Yep.
Can I give you a hug? May I take your picture?
Yes.
Can I take a picture with you?
It is so easy to just ask somebody something. Seriously, all up to the, hey, can I take a picture of your backside? I think it's hot. Seriously. If you want to know, don't sneak it, just ask. You might get a little dirty look and they're going to say no, but they're going to respect you a whole lot more.
And whether respect or not, at least it's going to be a better outcome of you asking and getting that answer than, finding out that you sniped this shot and tried to put it on the internet, and then they had to find out later. And now your credibility as a photographer or what have you is destroyed, and you're a piece of shit. So there's that.
I really wish Mayan Goddess was here for this, because I don't know if she talked to you guys about that or anything like that, but
she talked to all of us about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so heard cosplay is not consent. Can you explain it simply for safety? I would simply say no means no, motherfucker, and ask.
Ask.
If you have
ask.
If you want to try something and you think it's harmless and you think you're being and acting in a harmless nature, you're not being a perv or anything, ask. And I guess another point is, if you have to ask, depending on the question, and you're second guessing yourself, don't fucking do it.
Yeah, if you're uncomfortable asking somebody something, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly.
Right. Now, this also goes for not just any sort of like sexual harassment or physical contact or anything like that, but there's a lot of people, and this happened at a convention not too long ago here in California, where there was a group of first-time cosplayers at a convention. They were all cosplaying the same anime, and they literally, because I saw the video, literally ran up to another group of cosplayers that were in the same fandom, not with their group, but in the middle of a photo shoot and everything like that, and then started engaging and interacting with them as the characters aggressively. Totally ruined the photo shoot. My friends.
It also knocks you off your game. If you're in
a
shoot and you're like in character, and then somebody aggressively gets in your face,
right?
You're no longer in character.
These these young cosplayers were acting out as the characters that they were portraying, thinking that it was funny, but there was about 10 to 15 of them against 3.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, again, cosplay is not consent. Just because you're cosplaying that character doesn't give you the right to involve other people in your skit if they don't want to be involved. You can't just roll up on people. You've got to talk to people. You've got to respect boundaries.
Yeah,
And you
every
can
other
stay in
Deadpool
character
cosplay out there.
and ask at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that goes double for anybody who cosplays as Deadpool and is being a total asshole. Like, seriously, just because you're cosplaying Deadpool and you think you have to amplify it and be a total piece of shit, stop. You're making a really bad name for guys like myself who, when I walk around, I'm quiet unless I'm around my people that I know that know me, and then I can just be myself. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, though, now that I say it out loud. Anyway.
You do you, boo-boo.
Right. Okay. So our next question, which actually I guess has already been answered, and we'll just reiterate it. Can I still cosplay if I don't make it myself? Does not yeah.
Yes.
Can I still
Yes.
cosplay if it doesn't make it?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Duh. I don't care if you've bought it. I don't care if you've crafted it. I don't
There-
care if you've picked some cotton and you
The-
melted it yourself.
Only stipulation is contests. You have to read the rules. Some
Yes.
rules
Yes.
only allow handmade items. Some of them allow store-bought items, and then you rely on your character portrayal instead of costume.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so you just have to look at that. Do not tear off a tag and go do a cosplay contest and say something is your own.
Yes. Exactly.
As she looks directly into the camera to emphasize that.
Next question is, this one's gonna be interesting because it's one of those things where it's like I can see both points. Does nude count as cosplay?
Depends on the character.
Depends. I mean, yes, it counts as cosplay. It counts as cosplay if you're cosplaying a character. If you are cosplaying a character nude, then you are cosplaying. So yes.
Okay, that's a good argument. I would say that because honestly, I had this moment where I'm like, if you're just throwing a wig on and then being naked, I used to say, dude, what? No.
It has to be something that comes from within, I think.
Yeah.
If you are doing it because you feel pulled to portray this character in a certain way, and that way happens to be nude, then that's fine. I've seen some people do those milk baths with cosplays. I've seen them. Yeah, Single Dad has done them, and they're amazing. But then if you were
he's
not-
been in the tub or he's taken the photos.
you can see his little hairy nipples going on.
Yes. More than it's just face, beard, hairy nipples. And the pubes. Don't forget the pubes.
I sure hope
Wait,
if
what?
you're in the bath that you're not seeing the pubes. I mean, unless they're floating in the tub as like.
I mean, hey, if he's
Y'all
letting
apparently
beard
don't
go-
know my grooming schedule.
No, we don't.
We don't.
Please.
Nope.
Give
Anywho,
him some lessons. Don't you?
if you are throwing on a wig and you're taking a picture of yourself nude to post it online to get likes, is a completely different.
There's
Go
a
fuck
difference.
yourself? Like,
I as a photographer, all right. There's two things that I need to say here.
go for it.
One, don't be that person. I'm not gonna be trying to be a gatekeeper and tell anybody what they can and can't do with their
Do
body.
anything you want, but
I'm fishing for likes. If that's what makes you happy, you know what? Knock yourself out. Okay, that's not why I do it. If that's what makes you happy, that is your choice. And I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't do. But fishing for likes, if your self-esteem and if your personality is based on random strangers on the internet liking your photo, and that's how you and that's how you live your life. I see that hand up. Then maybe let's think about some priorities. Let's think about
Yes.
some other issues that may be underlying and why you need to do that. Now, the biggest point that I'm going to try and make is another issue that's going on around right now is, especially in the anime community, over-sexualizing child characters. All right.
Right.
And so I read an article about this just today. I wish I knew the name of the cosplayer that pointed it out, because he made a great a great point. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you're over 18, that character that you're trying to portray, and then you're quote unquote looting up, is only 13 or 14.
Especially when you hashtag it with that character's name, and now little 13, 14-year-olds can find
Are
it.
looking for it.
And that's the thing. That's showing these impressionable youth that it's okay. Not that it's okay,
but that it's what's the word I'm looking for? That it's required. That you're required to look or act a certain way.
Correct.
Yeah, and I guess to note on that, like, there's a lot of people who always constantly say, I think it's bullshit that someone who when a girl takes all her clothes off, she gets 1 million likes. But this woman who spent days, months working on this costume, armor build, dress, what have you, gets 10. I think that's bullshit. And to that I reply with, sure, that's a great thought process, but you're not doing yourself any favors when you start hitting like on the hot sexy girl's photo. If you want to change it, give that person the likes that they deserve.
Devil's advocate on that, because that person, that female or male that is undressing for the camera, for the likes and everything like that, how many hours have they spent in the gym? I mean, how many months have they been working on their makeup and working on tutorials of how to pose and everything like that? That's why it's still cosplay. That's why it's still there, even without a full outfit or costume, and they could be, partially, halfway, all the way nude. They're still portraying a character. They are still putting in work. We just may not see it.
Fair enough.
And think about it on the front end.
Also, the person who is working and doing really hard and putting so much work into their cosplay, their audience that they're attracting is much smaller, because they're attracting cosplayers and people who enjoy cosplay builds. The people who are doing more of the sexy looks, they're attracting cosplayers, but they're also attracting people who have no idea what cosplay is.
Correct.
And so it's not that they're not getting as many likes because their stuff isn't good. They're not getting as many likes because they're narrowing their field.
Yes.
So what you're saying I should do is, I'm just kidding.
Take off your clothes. I'm just kidding. You have to find, like, again, when we were talking about how many followers I have on Instagram, I have a very wide variety of an audience, because I do more than just cosplay. I cosplay, but I also brand promote.
Yeah.
So I have a whole other group. I have like babies who follow me. I mean, they're parents, but it's those, babies.
I was gonna say, gotta be 13 to have an account.
When I scroll through my Instagram, it's like cosplayer, half naked person, baby. I mean, it's the weirdest.
I stopped listening when you said half naked person and thought, ooh, what's cosplay Jenemy doing that we don't know about?
I am following people who I enjoy and some people who are just my friends, and I'm promoting them and helping them out, and I follow and I like.
Yeah, you promote them. Ooh.
Because I enjoy the boudoir. I enjoy
Sorry.
I am very particular about what I post on my public page But as both of you know, I also have a private page,
Oh yes.
which none of that stuff is technically private because I've done photos for whether product where for Galaxy Gear, I model underwear for her. She puts them on her page. I don't put them on my page. I did a bunch of boudoir photos recently for my friend who's a photographer who's working on getting her boudoir. What is the word I'm looking for? Portfolio. Thank you. Portfolio up.
Yeah, ask the photographer, maybe.
I looked at you, but you can't tell.
I thought you were looking at Tom Cruise.
I looked
I
directly.
don't blame
You're on
her.
my left. He's
That still doesn't help.
See,
No,
but that's the thing.
no,
In my
no.
camera, you're right there, and he's right there. Oh, wait, you can't even see where I'm pointing.
That's why I
You know
held
what?
my hand.
You know what? You're
Single
both
dad.
right here on my screen at the
Right.
same time. So, anyway.
But yes, anyways, I do believe, depending on how you are going at it,
Yes.
makes it cosplay or not.
Intent.
Yes, the intent. And as you both know, I deleted my boudoir page while I was going through a lot of emotional crap
Yes, we were very sad.
because I was using it wrong. And I knew I was using it wrong. I was looking for the likes. I was looking for people to say, hey, you
Nice
were doing
ass.
good. Yeah, because you look good. But I wasn't doing good. And if I didn't get the likes that I wanted.
So, do you want me to create like 20 pages, have them all follow you, and just give you all the likes every time you post? Because I will fucking do that.
I am better. I feel better. I'm doing a whole lot better right now. So I opened it back up. And so I don't really need it. I've actually posted and then not looked at that page in a couple days. So it's like, I'm like, oh wait, somebody has talked to me on there. I should probably go and say something.
Yeah. Okay, so now for the next question. Positive things you can use cosplay for. Oh boy. Charity. I know too many people who do charity.
There's no such thing as too many people to do charity.
No such thing.
My favorite answer, I'm gonna use, this is what I will say because it's happened to me a couple of times. Making a kid who's just walking around, their dream come true, because either they're too young to know the difference between you being the character that they just got done seeing in the movie or in the comic books, or they get to say, oh my god, this cosplay is really awesome, it reminds me of what I just saw in such and such, I want to get a photo with this so I can share with my friends. That to me is something that's very positive that I enjoy, because A, it makes me feel like a rock star that my cosplay made you feel that way, and B, when it comes down to those kids, the fucking excitement on their faces alone when they're getting photos with Deadpool is just, it's the greatest thing on the earth. That they treat me like I am Deadpool, and they're like, oh my god, my hero's here. And then I go, why is he your hero? I have too many questions for your parents.
You were 6 years old. You should not know who Deadpool is.
There
Right.
actually is a kids show that has Deadpool in it.
Yes, and I'm sure he's super censored.
He is. He is very
That's
censored.
extremely
What, superhero
watered
kids
down.
or I think it's superhero kids something, but it's got Deadpool in it, and he's like Spider-Man. Even though there is Spider-Man in it too, but he's got like the same personality type as like Spider-Man, where it's just goofy.
More violent. Anyway, so those are my two answers to that question. Throw it to you guys. Oh yeah, I'm the host. I'm supposed to tell who's supposed to talk next. Cosplay Jenemy, you go next. Almost forgot my job.
Being polite here.
But well, as you said, charity, that's always the number one go-to. Another thing, I've worked with charity groups at conventions where you raise awareness for these charity groups and money. What?
I heard congention, and I'm like, the fuck is a congention?
I was like, what? Okay, I'll have to rewatch this.
Right.
Conventions. Where
It was an hour and 9 seconds in. Or 9 minutes, I should say.
Wait, you're counting the seconds now?
It does have a second count. Anyway, that's not the point. Continue
Anyway,
on.
and another thing that Heroic Inner Kids in Dallas, Texas, what they do once a year, they do a massive adoption day where basically the parents are coming in to sign paperwork, but at the court systems, they do it all at one time. So everybody in that month.
Okay.
Or maybe it's every 3 months. I don't remember. But everybody who is adopting all comes in at that time. It's a lot of paperwork. You're waiting on your name. It's really boring for the kids, but the kids have to be there. So they bring in a bunch of cosplayers in superheroes and princesses and stuff to entertain these children while their parents are doing the last signature for their adoptions. And I think that's one of my favorite events, being the adoption day stuff, because you get to have a bunch of kids that this is like dream come true, and now superheroes and princesses are there.
Yeah.
On top of, I'm getting a family.
Yeah, for real.
So those are some of the highlights. I think most everything that I love the most is with kids. Meeting kids, hanging out with kids, doing kids' charities, going to the hospitals.
I mean, I enjoy the adult nerds who get a fucking kick out of the costumes too, and they want to get photos too. Because
I do
those
too.
Those
I
guys
love
are
it.
fun too.
I love it when I'm Harley and drunk at an after party, and
We do too.
and people come up to me and they're like, "It's Harley."
We see these live broadcasts that you put on.
We enjoy it. We can't do anything about it, but we watch and have fun.
And you think I'm going to be missing out while you guys are in Disneyland without me? I think
we're still holding on to hope.
We're still holding on to hope. Yep. You're gonna show up.
I just wish you guys would have done it like 1 week prior, so it wouldn't be the week before the one convention I have to go to a year.
I mean, again, if it helps you any bit, you can just stay with Justine and I in our hotel.
It's not that; it's the time away. I don't want to be gone because I
again priorities.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
If it was the week before, weekend between. I mean, maybe. I've actually looked at tickets to see about flying there. From here to there to Dallas and then back to here. So I would be gone like
a week
and a half. But
do it.
So I've been looking at all kinds of things trying to figure out, but I don't know. That's a long time.
Just make sure you let us know at least 24 hours prior so that we can help out somehow.
Pick me up at the airport, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a thought.
What are you volunteering me for now?
A Geek Boot sleepover.
All right.
Anyway, are you good, Cosplay Enemy?
Yes, I forgot what we were talking about. So yes.
Perfect. Single dad is now your turn, good sir.
You said Disney, and my brain went.
Good. That's how I'll do it from now on. When I want you to stop talking, I'll just go Disney, and you just go what? And I go, all right, Mayan Goddess, it's your turn.
Hey, on it, you guys have both touched on it, and the charity aspect and helping out with kids. And I have the wonderful opportunity to be a part of an organization, the Cosplay for Chalk. And we did they did. I was unavailable at the time, but the Huntington Beach 4th of July parade, marched in that and raising awareness for the Children's Hospital of Orange County. So anything that you can do, any groups that you can get involved in, anything like that, whether it's reading comic books to kids at hospitals or just donating a little bit of your time, even just $5 here and there, donating to a cause, everything helps. So yeah.
Real fast, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank God. I'm worried. So fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, I obviously have a new updated headphone set, and it is jump drive now, not auxiliary port, to get it to connect to my computer. And I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't list and lean and then break. So I tried putting something underneath it, and I thought I'd broke everything, so I just wanted to make sure everything was fine. But yes.
Is this going to be another week with a microphone malfunction?
No, this time it's
Okay.
really set up as long as my hat doesn't hit it multiple times.
As his hat
Okay.
smacks it.
So
Yeah.
here is I know what he's talking about, so if you need any clarification, I'm here for it. But this is a very controversial topic we're about to bring up, and I honestly feel like it needs to be brought up through the military's no fucks given attitude perspective, and just cosplay witch hunts. So, I can already tell with some confused faces, I need to elaborate on this. So, it has prominently happened in my area, but basically, someone does something, and the community decides we need to band together and kick them out of the community and make sure they can never live their lives ever again, and talk massive amounts of shit about them and stir up a bunch of bullshit, perpetuate more hate. Also, if I see you hanging out with this person, you are now saying that they're good, and now we are going to talk shit about you. We're going to rope you into it, even though you didn't do anything physically wrong. You don't know what you're doing. Yeah, cosplay witch hunts, Pacific Northwest. It's so great.
First of all, there's a difference between witch hunts and informing the public.
Correct.
If someone, which I hadn't had a thing a year ago, year-ish ago, where he was sending messages to me and a bunch of other girls after a convention, and then basically going into, oh, you're not paying attention to me, so you must be a whore and a slut and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so I posted his private conversation to me on my page, and it went semi-viral. I was okay with doing that, but I was not okay with what people were doing with that information.
Right.
Yeah.
People were taking that information that I posted and finding out where this guy worked, where he lived, what school he went to, sending messages to his parents. And that I was not okay with. And I did try to rein it in. But once something goes viral,
once the genie's out of the bottle,
it's incredibly hard to rein something in.
Yeah.
And I get the reason for putting something out there. Hey, girls, pay attention, keep your eyes open for this guy. This guy found me sometime later on Instagram, told me that I ruined his life, that he had to delete his Facebook page, and I don't know if he lost his job, but something about his job. He was still messaging me when I blocked him because I was like, I don't need this because it wasn't my fault. He still did wrong. I do not agree with the other people, what they did. I've seen cosplayers when something has happened to them where they are spinning it, where they are posting where the person lives, where they are posting, and I don't agree with that. Something happened to a friend of mine, and then she started doing that. And that's when I backed out of her stuff because I was like, nope, I don't want to be a part of that. So there is a difference between letting the public know that something is wrong and who did it, if the authorities or a convention is not stepping in to help.
Mm-hmm.
But taking it farther than that and trying to get them fired, or having people message their work, or calling them on their actual phone, messaging them, because then you become as bad as the person who did it. Mm-hmm. Because now you are the harasser. Yes, they harassed you, but doesn't mean you get to turn around and harass them.
I like that. I really like that ending wordage too. Because the stuff that had happened here in the Pacific Northwest, as you mentioned, if you want to do right, you need to do right. If you feel unsafe with this person, why these people needed to do right. They haven't let the conventions know. All they're doing is just spinning things, and then they twist information, put up lies. There was an original truth. It wasn't really that bad. They spun it, added new facts, lies, and rumors to get this person banned and off the island or what have you. And just it happens a lot.
Well, spreading lies and rumors is wrong regardless.
Yes.
I don't care what it is, whether it's in cosplay or in your job or in, friend circles. Spreading lies and rumors is just wrong. But if somebody actually did do something that people do need to know about, then yes, stating that publicly, hey, this is what happened. Please be advised.
Yes.
Again, same guy, same convention a year later, started sending me messages from the third account, mind you. Yeah, third account to me, asking me if I was going to this convention. So this guy has followed me.
And you're like, none of your fucking business. Like,
for one, it was on my profile that I was going to the convention. So the fact that he went to my page to hit message this person.
Yeah.
Right under that it said he was only doing that to make sure to send me a message.
Yeah. It's a fickle bitch. I said earlier on this episode, I feel like when people are so involved with cosplay and they don't ever take a minute to remember they're in the real world, they try and govern themselves through Facebook groups. And I'm just like, okay, so here's something that I have stated with other Facebook group admins, because they ask me about Geek Boots, and I'll go, if I kick someone out of the group, I'm just kicking them out of Facebook group. That, like, if we were to walk to a public location, I have no right to tell that person they're not allowed to be there.
Right.
It's not my legal right. Sorry, but the witch hunts that this person is bringing up and wants us to talk about and discuss, that's what they would do. They'd be like, we need to make sure that they're not allowed to be here. And I'm just like, that you have no, okay, stop. I also would then throw out the for me, it's like there needs to be a moment of punishment, but then after that, there needs to be a moment of
what have we learned?
Yeah, what have we learned? Are they ready to be back? Let's grow. And unfortunately, the witch hunts happen, and they get inflamed every once in a while, and nothing ever really gets fixed. So it's just this perpetual heavy sigh. So
I mean, you don't want to ruin somebody's life for making a mistake unless the mistake is ruining somebody else's life.
Correct.
But then you need to inform the authorities, and people are not the authority figure.
Right. Exactly.
And Single Dad is very quiet.
Yeah, I know, right? He's like, I've had some experience in this.
I've had quite a bit of personal experience in this, on both the receiving end and on the reporting end. I'm going to keep it at this, and I've been very vocal about this, especially in the Southern California cosplay community. I left high school in 1995. I don't want to go back anytime soon. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this is just people needing to grow up. And it really is. People need to be accountable for their actions. People need to be held responsible for their actions. But once that's over and done with, that's it. It's over and done with. So, I mean, if the con makes the decision, if whoever's running the convention deems somebody to be a threat or anything else, then it's on them to decide to allow or to not allow this person to attend in any capacity whatsoever, whether it be a photographer, a professional press, or even just a attendee. People need to be safe.
Yeah.
With that being said, just because you got beef with somebody, I don't fucking care. I've had to take a step back because of all of the toxicity lately that I've seen in the community, with people trashing other people, and me, both as a cosplayer and photographer. I work with all these people, and hearing one side talking shit about another side, and then, well, why do you work with this person, and why? It's because. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they're my friends. I'm not saying anything like that. What I am saying is, I have a job to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to be professional, and I will treat you the same way I treat them, and I treat everybody equally, just like shit.
I mean,
that's pretty much how it goes.
As far as I'm concerned, being an adult means I get to dictate who my friends are, not you.
Right.
And what people also forget is, just because somebody screwed me over or we had a fight doesn't mean they're a bad person.
Correct.
Everybody else.
Exactly.
I mean,
everybody needs to be in it.
In the beginning, like, it took Single Dad, I think, a year before he realized that somebody he knew I did not like. Okay, he probably figured it out way before then, but whatever.
Oh, we've discussed this.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, but I never told him, and I never brought it up to him because it had no reflection on his relationship with that person. And I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
My closing statement on this one is just simply put, you're an adult, grow up, get off the fucking internet for a couple hours and live your life with the world around you.
That's how we know each other.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's how we know each other. That person.
It's just, if somebody says, you know what, it's simply put, okay, so this is
Sorry.
This is the famous words of one of the greatest men, in my honest opinion, Mad Dog Mattis. He simply put, when he came off of an airplane, he goes, when they asked him about what something Donald Trump had done, his response was, I don't know all the facts yet, so I'm not going to comment on anything at this time, and then walked away. That's literally what anybody should do. And furthermore, don't drag them into it if they don't know all the facts or don't care to know all the facts. They have a life to live as well. Don't drag them into your shit. If you want to let people know that either you feel unsafe, you should only ever go to the point of saying, this person makes me feel unsafe. If it's not your information to tell, make sure you state, simply put, this person has information about this person. They're the ones who should be giving you the information. They told me they feel uncomfortable, and leave it at that. You have no right to sit here and state facts as if you think you know all the facts, especially when it ends up being the telephone game and you fuck everything up and ruin someone's life potentially just by spreading more and more rumors. So cosplay witch hunts, I have to say, I don't support them. If you want to get information out, find a more civil way to do it. It's really difficult to do because it's the internet, and if it goes viral, fires start because it's the internet.
And you cannot pull it back.
Nope.
Going on to a positive note, the next question is our thoughts on foam armor. Oh gosh, wow! I could say that I right off the bat, I had no idea what foam armor was until we made Cable. And then I realized they were the fucking exercise mats. You just cut them up, and then you take a heat gun, fucking mold it to your body, and you're good to go. I'm like, wait, this is what this is? What the shit? So yeah, it was a fantastic learning experience. Me personally, while cosplay Jamie
Your dog is confused.
I know. I stood up. He's like, "We're going."
For our listeners, right now, Cosplay Jeremy is holding up the square piece. It is those puzzle pieces where you fit them together and you have your workout mat. It's not a yoga mat; it's a workout mat.
Now that's just one thickness.
That is just one.
Yeah, there's different types of thicknesses. That's what she
For
said.
different, yeah, for different things, you need different thicknesses. You
God.
need. There you go.
That's too great. For different kinds of things, you need different kinds of thicknesses.
Shut up, Richard.
That's gonna be the name of this episode. Anyway, yeah, it's
Whoa!
whoa. Oh.
I'm so sorry. Oh.
And she comes in smiling like, "What's up? Hi, hello. I didn't do that. What are you talking about?" For people who just listen to the podcast, she tried to walk away with the headphones still attached, and they fell off her face and almost tripped her up. So that was great.
So the proverbial trying to get out of the driver's seat without unbuckling your seatbelt. Yeah,
Yes.
that is the visual that you now have of cosplay.
Yeah, yes. Anyway, so yeah, foam armors
I'm done with my. I could keep going. I've got foam for.
for
I've got
days.
foam for days.
Yes.
I find it interesting. I didn't realize, as she almost does it again to herself.
Right.
I didn't realize what it was. I personally don't have the ability, realistically, to do this kind of art stuff with my hands. I don't know what it is. With clay, I can mold like crazy. I've got, for people who watch on YouTube will be able to see this, but for listeners, they will not. I made a cup, and it was The Dark Knight had just come out, so there was a vibe in an artistic field. But I can mold for days out of clay. That's totally fine. But for whatever reason, when it comes down to cosplay, I can't do shit. I just don't have the hands for it. I got the imagination. I can tell you what I want it to look like, and then that's it. But that's all there is to it. Foam is interesting. Heat gun, workout
Definitely.
mats.
Plastic
And
dip.
saran wrap. You want to saran wrap your body first.
Saran wrap and duct tape.
Saran wrap and duct tape. It's your best friend. So yeah, foam
I have
armor.
I have some great pictures of me saran wrapped.
It's interesting. I'm hoping. So a shout out to one of our fans. Was it cosplaying with Jay? I think is his name. He's active duty, and he had expressed that he had not seen Spider-Man yet. That's why we left the review to the end of the episode. And I'm just sitting here. He's got a lot of the Spider-Man cosplay, and I'm going, God, I would love to get him on to talk about being in a little barracks room if he ever works on a cosplay and ever starts crafting, because that I'm sure is a fantastic experience. Because most people who have a barracks room have a buddy, and that would just be great for your battle buddy to come into the room and just the floor is covered in cut up pieces of foam, and they're like,
And you're standing
"What?"
there in saran wrap and tinfoil.
Right? Like,
I
hey,
made
man.
my very first cosplay in my dorm room.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course I didn't have a roommate. I had a piss mate, but not a roommate.
a fist mate.
A piss mate. We
That
shared a
still sounds
bath.
hilarious.
We shared a bathroom. It's called a piss mate.
I'm
We
sorry. Fist mate.
Yes, a piss mate. That's what we called them. We shared a bathroom, but not a room.
For every size, for every occasion, fist mates.
No, not piss. Piss, like pee.
It's too hilarious. It's gonna attract the wrong crowd, and I fucking love it. Anyway,
Are we back to tentacles again?
we're always back to tentacles. So yeah, cosplay Jenemy, since you're pulling out foam out of your ass, why don't you go ahead and you go next?
What was the question?
Something about Disney.
Disney. Just foam
Disney.
armor. Your thoughts on foam armor?
I love foam builds. I love putting things together. I love having them. They're very time consuming, and sometimes I'm really lazy, so I don't do them. But the ones that I have done, I have absolutely loved, except for my Wonder Woman armor.
One woman.
one woman, my Wonder Woman armor, Wonder Woman armor, because I did it out of the matte foam, and it's thick,
Yeah.
and so it made me look thicker, and I don't like wearing it.
Fair enough.
I want to be a pretty Wonder Woman.
Is that all? That all you got? so I don't just interrupt you.
Pretty
past-
Wonder Woman walking down the street.
street,
Pretty Wonder Woman. The kind I'd
I'd
like
to meet.
But I do want to do crap. What's her name? I was gonna say she's a redhead, but then you're like, all your characters are redheads. But
You're not
Poison
wrong.
Ivy.
no, Mara. I want to do her armor. I bought the bodysuit because I was gonna get the bodysuit, the one that most people just wear by itself, and then do the foam armor onto it.
So now I have a request. I need you to get your Mara done by either Emerald City next year or WonderCon next year because I have my Aquaman and I'm trying to have a entourage of Maras.
An entourage of Maras. Well, if I'm going to be an entourage of Mara and there's going to be a bunch of other Maras, I would rather do my bombshell Mara, so it's a little bit different.
Fuck yeah, I'm down. Anyway, continue.
I don't mind being one of a bunch, but I want to be a little different.
No, yeah, for sure. We all do. I just want Jason Momoa's attention real fast. I want to be like, Jason, you may, because there's a story about how if you go to a con and
You have
Jason
to shave your
Momoa's
beard.
there, no, I don't.
He did.
I don't give a fuck.
He got paid a lot more.
Well, he did it for charity, first of all, and made the internet blow up for the stupidest reasons. Like, he's sitting there talking about the stuff. I'm not going to get into it, but people exploded all over the internet. I can't believe you shaved that magnificent beard. And I'm over here like, he's doing it for the environment. Like, are you an asshole? Like, pay attention to what he's saying. Jesus. Anyway.
What?
To grow back.
What?
No, so in terms of cosplay, just a warning, if you've never met Jason Momoa at a convention, he likes to run around and steal other Aquaman's tridents and then keep them to him for himself until the end of the day, and then he tries to bring them back to everybody.
Tries.
So I thought to myself, all right, well, I'm going to do something kind of like that, but, with people. And I'm going to get an entourage of Maras, and I'm going to walk around and be like, try and steal this, motherfucker. So I stole all your Maras. Bitch, you could have all the tridents. Look at all the ladies I got.
Let's do it. I'm down.
That's what Genevieve's down. So ha. Anyway, are you good? You got anything else?
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to see more, or but I'm good.
No. I think we're good.
That's a very loaded question there, Jenemy.
Yeah. We're not on Pornhub yet.
I like how you say yet.
Right. Eventually someone's gonna flag us because of the way we talk and how we do things. I'm just gonna be like, well, I need to make money somehow. Pornhub. Watch, we'll get a lot more views and we'll get paid a lot more too.
Or we'll have a lot of disappointed
bands. Yeah.
There's your title for
off.
There's your title for the first Pornhub. 2 bearded dudes and a redhead on webcam.
3 different webcams, but yeah, it's still a webcam, right?
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah. Webcam chat.
Technicality.
Multiple angles.
Webcam sex. Or maybe that'll be the title of this episode. Webcam sex. We answer all your cosplay questions.
Or 2 bearded dudes and a redhead. I like that one.
Yeah. Single dad, it's your turn. Foam armor.
You know what? I love it. Honestly, I think it's awesome. The craftsmanship and everything like that I see, you can tell when people put time into it. You can tell when people put love and heart and everything like that into it. But you know what? Everybody's doing it for the same reason. They're doing it because they love the character and trying to mold, sculpt, heat, treat, paint. Hours and hours of love going into these cosplays.
Yeah.
I respect it. I respect the shit out of it. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about other people. Just talking about myself.
Surprise!
This is my surprise face. Yeah, for sure. All right.
It's
so
all about me.
1, 2, 3. We got 3 other questions. Let's knock these out.
All right.
What thing do you want others to know so they don't make the same mistake you did? Which again is a loaded question because it could be about literally anything you want to set your mind to. Jesus Christ. What thing do you want others to know so they don't make the same mistake you did? Honestly, I would say pace yourself. I would say pace yourself and get to know the people a lot more thoroughly before letting it all out. Because sometimes people can, like, for me, for instance, people have found me to be annoying because I'm me, and or my humor is offensive. My humor will be too offensive for somebody.
Yeah,
So
but then you weed out the people quickly. I say
Yeah.
be yourself and weed out all the bad.
yeah, that's fair. But I would, for me, pacing myself in terms of cosplay. Um, it's one thing to try and get 1,000,001 photos. It's another thing entirely to have 1,000,001 photos and then losing track of who took what photo, if you've posted that photo yet or not, and having that enjoyment of going to a convention. When I go to a convention is not always to get my photo taken. I want to go to the convention to hang out. So I would just simply say pace myself. So that's my piece of advice. Cosplay Jenemy again. What say you?
I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, yeah,
Great
it
advice.
because I was just thinking you were like pace yourself, and I was like, okay, I did 42 cosplays in 1 year,
We've only seen 5 of them.
and that is how I got 10,000 followers because I pumped out a ton and was putting out something new like every week for an entire year. It was a lot of work, and it was a lot of fun for me for that year. And then after the year was over, I was like, okay, now I'm going to do cosplay however I want to. But I don't regret doing it. It was great fun. I loved every moment of what I was doing and how I did it, and it got me a lot of followers really quick.
I feel like I missed out on the early years of Cosplay Jenemy because these cosplays sound fucking fantastic, and now I don't get to see them or something.
They're
Like, what the
still
fuck?
on
They're
my.
still there.
Just go scroll back.
Fine.
I mean, I've deleted a lot of stuff, but mostly the only things I've deleted have been like selfies and things that were irrelevant afterwards. Like if I did, this is what I'm doing at a convention. After the convention's over, I delete those. I don't keep that stuff up.
Sure.
But for the most part, any of the cosplays I've done, I've left those up.
Okay.
I don't have tons of pictures of all of the things because I've done like 4 or 5 pictures for a shoot, and then because I would post like 3 and then move on.
And now Single Dead. How say you?
Have fun with it. Find characters that you like. Find characters. Don't do it for popularity. Just have fun with it. I mean, be yourself in the character. That's all.
Hey, it was fun for me to find the popularity in it.
I don't think this needs to have any discussion on it, but I definitely want it to be said. Hope he gets a kick out of me saying this verbatim. If I don't like your fucking cosplay, don't get mad if I don't shoot your shit. End quote, LOL. That's what he wanted us to know as I move on.
Okay, then. That's not a question.
I'm not going to even hazard a guess as to who wrote that.
You've met him. What are some, the last one, this is the last question. What are some of the challenges non-cosplayers don't realize?
Are you going to answer?
Yeah, you've been going first, and now we're like waiting on
Oh,
you.
okay. Oh, yeah.
My best Judge Smales impression. Well, waiting.
That was really good, by the way. A little creepy on the horror side, but it's fine. What are some of the challenges non-cosplayers don't realize? Not having really good soles in your cosplay boots or shoes, because those shoes are made for costumes, not for actual usage. That's me. So anyway, Cosplay Jenemy, you're up next.
I would say the effort that goes into things that look very effortless. Like even just something as simple as posing for a camera. There's a lot of work that goes behind that.
It's like yoga, but with cosplay. Like I'm sitting there holding a pose for like too fucking long. I'm tired from just holding that pose, and I've heard comments from people who don't cosplay or walking by going, but you're just holding a pose. I go, you try holding that shit for 10 minutes. Fuck you.
Right. I mean, anytime I've taught a lot of people how to pose in the past year. That seems to be what a lot of my girlfriends come to me for posing advice. And a lot of times they're like, well, it's uncomfortable. And I was like, then you're doing it right. If you are uncomfortable, you're doing it right.
There's your title for this episode.
You have too many titles. Jesus Christ. Single dad, your turn.
Can you repeat the question, because I really want to?
You really want to nail it home?
I do.
What are some of the challenges non-cosplayers don't realize?
I'm gonna get some heat for this. I'm gonna get some flack for this, for saying this.
I've said a bunch of stuff I'm going to get heat for. No one cares.
It's not real.
Yes.
This is cosplay. Okay? There are too many people out there that that lose themselves in the characters, and by that I don't mean like you're cosplaying Harley Quinn and now you start acting like Harley Quinn and being all psychotic in your regular. No. That's not what I mean. What I mean is they actually lose themselves into trying to do all this thing because they think they have to. Right. You don't have to do anything. Honestly.
They take off their clothes because they think they have to get the likes.
Again, like Deadpool cosplayers, people who I would say think that they wear a Deadpool suit, now they have to run around and touch all the butts, try and grab all the boobs, make really obscene comments out loud. It's like, no, calm down. Because let's face it, even in the comic books, people are like, Deadpool's obscene, he shouldn't be doing this. So in real world, don't fucking do it. Yeah, I concur.
I have fun with it. Have fun with it. Once it stops being fun, take a break, back away.
I am not your personal Pornhub.
Yes, you are.
I get messages from people all the time asking me to be a character for them in certain ways.
I almost feel bad for asking you to be Mara now, like just a little bit, like shit.
No, you were asking me to help you in something you wanted to do.
Yes.
They are asking me to do something outside of my comfort zone or outside of what is posted on my page.
Yeah. For
them to get off to.
I get off all the time. Watch.
I
done. I'm off.
I had one person after I did what is her name? I'm awful with words. From
Purple.
Yeah.
Disney.
None of the above. All I can think of is October 3rd.
Cool name.
What is that? Mean Girls. Mean Girls.
It'd be really ironic if she was born January.
She doesn't even go here.
When I did Karen from Mean Girls, I had somebody kept sending me messages asking me to talk like her and voice chat him as her. And I was like, why would you even think that I could do that, for one? I am not her.
So weird.
I know.
Okay, I would also
How much is it worth to you?
Right. I would like to make one last statement, though, to chime in for our military listeners that don't do cosplay and maybe are thinking about it. Again, the question is, what are some challenges that non-cosplayers don't realize? So a challenge that we would go through, time constraints. Whether it's you're ordering something online and it doesn't get there on time, or you, as we did on a Big Greg Weenie joke. Well, we had 3 of them today, apparently.
All 3 of us.
Yeah, it's you sit there and you think you got all the time in the world, and then you space out and go, shit, I need to get this done. Now, of course, for the military, I really don't see all that happening, because I've seen too many of my civilian friends do it, and then I go, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I got this months ago. Why? So that I'm done? So that all I have to do now is hurry up and wait? Like, but yeah, the waiting factor, the lines are insane for conventions, just throwing it out there. I don't know. I'm running out of idea. I just know that this is definitely something. If you're gonna get into cosplay, ask the right questions of people who've been doing it for a while, whether it's a crafter or someone who shops. For me, I shop, I don't craft. So I ask around a lot. I try and find, like, right now I'm trying to find the perfect Spider-Man face shell, and I finally found it after asking, and it's on Etsy. It's awesome. If you're crafting, lessons I learned thanks to my cable cosplay. Just ask the right questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
And cosplayers, don't hoard your information of knowledge.
Yeah.
Because we're all in this together. I mean, if you were coming up with things and you were selling them, that's one thing, and say, hey, but direction to your page because you came up with something and you want somebody to pay for it, that's different. But if you're at a convention and somebody looks at something like, oh my goodness, how did you make that? And just be like, I'm not telling. It's kind of like,
yeah.
We're kind of all in this together. Let's spread a little love.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's kind of like the good karma thing. You just hope for the best, really. But like, I've told a lot of people how I did my Red Hood, and I'm just hoping to see somebody else either do it better than me and credit me, or do it the same as me, but it's still, again, credit me. Like, I'm looking for that credit so that I know that people are talking and helping share. It's not so much give me the fame because I'm the first person to do something. It's I want to make sure that someone's not hoarding information for me. That's why I do. I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't just take that information, run away with it, and not only make me look like crap. Yeah, make me look like crap, but then make a whole bunch of other people look like crap. No. We should all be in this together.
I love talking about my props when I'm out at a convention and somebody's like, oh my God, did you make that? I'm like, yes, let me tell you how. I probably explained how to make things and they didn't even ask.
Yep. And another thing for non-cosplayers that are military, I know we've given some bad vibes some degree, but I have to admit, there was a video on Black Rifle Coffee of Who We Are with Logan Stark. He is he's a Marine sniper. I think he was Special Forces Marine sniper. And he had said at the end of his video that when you come back from basically hell, you have to learn how to live again. I can say this with ease. For me, that was cosplay. When I got back from active duty and I bought my first Deadpool suit and I went to my first convention, I felt like I was living again. I felt like I was starting to find my life again. So to any of you who are about to either in the military now or about to get out and you're looking for a fun time, I'd highly recommend finding yourself through cosplay, having fun with fellow nerds who are very passionate about something very harmless, and enjoy your life.
And don't worry about being perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say, don't jump off into the deep end immediately.
Yeah.
Go to a con or two. See what it's like.
Oh yeah.
Talk to cosplayers.
Start with a small con first.
I did that wrong too. Dragon Con was my first con.
Yeah, my buddy went to Emerald City Comic Con it was his first con ever, and he was walking around beating in sweat, and I'm like, are you okay? And he goes, this is my first con. I go, so are you hot? And he goes, no, I'm very nervous and very scared. I have no idea what's going on. I go, stay with me. I'll guide you. We will check out all the cool things. Jesus Christ.
I was lucky because I was friends with people and I did an MMO and I ended up helping Funcom with their booth at Dragon Con, so I had a place to go when it got overwhelming. So I got really lucky, being that was my first convention. So I don't regret it.
Nice. Well, we are nearing the 2-hour mark. This has been another exciting 2-hour long
Yes!
episode with just the three of us. That's insane. We got through all the questions. Stay tuned. Next week, we will hopefully have the other two. And at that point, we're going to take these same questions and we're going to get their perspectives, their answers.
Same questions. We should do new questions.
All right, fine, whatever. We'll try and get more questions.
I think we should talk about SDCC next week.
Yes, we
Yes,
will.
that too.
Yep. So anyway, stay tuned next week. We're going to answer more questions, talk about San Diego. Keep in mind, Portraits in Cosplay is out and about. He is our boots on the ground. He will be giving us a detailed message of what he experienced at San Diego, and we'll be relaying that here on the podcast.
As is Mayan Goddess.
As is Mayan Goddess. So there you go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this 2-hour long shit show. No, I'm just kidding. 2-hour long episode. Find us on Pornhub. I mean YouTube. If you enjoyed what you heard and saw today and you're on YouTube, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and check out the other videos that have been posted as a backlog. We're all up and loaded.
Click that little bell so you get notifications.
Exactly. And I think the biggest thing of all, aside from just checking out our Instagram and our Facebook pages, talk about us out in the open. Spread the word. Geek Boots, Military Nerds. If you find somebody who's militarily inclined or somebody who respects the military service and like to know more, let them know about us. Spread the word. I am Tom Cruise, and with me tonight is the ever so lovely cosplay Jenemy.
Yay. Or bye. I don't know. What are we doing?
Yeah, right. Whatever. We're tired. And of course, the bearded one.
Aloha.
The bearded one known as Single Dad Life Adventures and Point Blank Photography.
Mahalo.
I don't know why he went with that, but okay. This has been Geek Boots. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week.
Toodles.
Bye.
I'm going to make sure not to hit the hang up button like I do sometimes instead of the stop record.
Motherfucker!